Hey guys, welcome to Life and Death with Reverend Natasha Mack. I am so excited about this episode, and I know you're excited too, or you're about to get excited, especially if you're an OG, because my OGs know that this was sort of my style of doing things previously. But I think if you're new here, you're still going to be excited because I am about to channel for you guys, for us. Before I hit record, I tuned in and wondered, okay, what is this episode wanting to be? What am I being called to share? And how can I serve? So, what came through was to channel, kind of do like a energy forecast of 2026. And I know that we're a little late, okay? I understand we're at the end of February, but to be fair, we just had the real energetic new year, which was on February 17th, which interestingly also happened to be my youngest daughter's birthday. Like, what a powerful birthday to have. I believe we had like it was a new moon. It was the start of Lent and the start of, I think, Ramadan is how you say it. That's what I saw, anyways. I did not fact check any of this, by the way. But it was also, like I said, a new moon eclipse, not just a regular new moon, a cool new moon. And oh my God, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, and then the beginning of the fire horse year. So I had actually channeled in the beginning of the year how, because I know this, I'm going to actually dumb myself down a little bit here, but I was not aware that like the energetic new year doesn't actually, or the Chinese new year um, wasn't until like mid-February. And what I kept feeling energetically before, having all that new knowledge was that the new year wasn't going to start until mid-February, and how January was so intense because it was carrying leftover energy from 2025, which was, you guys, that year, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? That year was a dumpster fire. But also at the same time, it was one of my best years. Probably will go down in history as like one of my favorite years in a weird way. But at the same time, it was traumatic and heavy and yeah. But that's what happens when we live in a dualistic world. And as humans, we are here to have a dualistic experience. And you kind of have to learn how to carry both and navigate both and experience both. So that's what my year was like. But, anyways, everyone I talk to, they're like, yeah, that was one of the hardest years of my life, you know? So if you're hearing this right now and you're like, wow, same, you're not alone. Last year, turns out, was the year of the snake. And so just like sit with that for a moment. That in itself, represents transformation and death and rebirth and like a whole ass initiation. Um, just think of the shedding, right? The shedding of the skin of the snake. We, as a collective, shed skin. And that was so deeply uncomfortable. But it was for a purpose. And it always is, guys. It always is. There's there's a purpose in experiencing the energies that are present because they're present for us to support us in our alignment, our path, how we came here as a soul to learn and grow and evolve. Yeah. So basically that in a nutshell. um so yeah, last year, 2025 prepared us for all that's to come in 2026. And in 2026, year of the fire horse, this is about taking action. This is about alignment. This is about being instinctual and trusting those instincts. Earlier in January, I also kept receiving the message about how this is the year we let go of self-abandonment, which I feel like is so significant and important. And like, even if you just take a moment to sit with that, like self-abandonment, how do I continue to abandon myself? In what ways or what areas of my life am I being called to stop abandoning myself? And just notice what comes up for you. Guaranteed, something's going to pop into your mind, or there'll be like an inner knowing or a feeling. Maybe it'll even make you emotional. It's so hard to face sometimes, right? Oftentimes we avoid those things. We avoid how we abandon ourselves. We avoid how, yeah, we do need to stop people pleasing, or we do need to set boundaries in certain ways or certain areas of our lives. And it's uncomfortable, so uncomfortable, but it's part of growth and moving forward in a more positive way with more ease. Because, like, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but is it actually easier to avoid it? Like, when you're experiencing the negative impact from your self-abandonment or people pleasing or lack of boundaries, like, is that easier? I don't think so. I think, yes, it's deeply uncomfortable to face it and to take the action necessary to, um, what's the word? To like, whatever, stop abandoning yourself. But then when you do it, you like free up space, like literally, like, and energetically, you literally create space for more of what you do want and for what is actually aligned for you, right? Just like when you clear up an energy leak in your life, right? Something you do, or there's a relationship or whatever where you feel your energy being drained into, and it takes up space. It takes up some of your capacity, right? Like, imagine your energy is currency and you have like a limited amount of energy in a day, and so much of it is being consumed or like poured into this one place, and then it leaves you with so much less for what is actually aligned for you. So imagine what happens when you actually clean up those energy leaks and you'll all of a sudden have all this extra energy to pour into the places that where you actually need it, where it actually needs to be poured into. Like that's unfortunately just the way it works. Like whether we like it or not, that's just the way it is. And again, deeply uncomfortable, easier said than done, but then you do it and you experience relief. You experience healing. You experience freedom. So, it is absolutely worth it. So I just said all that, but I wasn't actually intentionally channeling. So I'm going to kind of move into that. And just know that when I do channel, it's meant to feel grounded and supportive and inspiring, motivating, uplifting. Like, I never want to leave you feeling more confused than when you found me. And I don't like my style of channeling isn't noisy or disruptive for the nervous system. Like that's something that's very important to me too, is like whatever flows through my channel, again, it needs to be helpful and supportive. So, all that to say that as I am sharing what's coming through, I want you to notice how your intuition is chiming in as you're listening to this. You're going to get ideas, you're going to get insights through your own channel. It's going to feel impactful and empowering as you are listening to this, because I'm not here to take your power away and tell you what to do and, say this is how it's going to be. No, it's going to show up for everyone so differently, but I'm here as the messenger to kind of share the themes, how this could potentially show up, and how you can navigate this with more ease. So, without further ado, I'm just going to take a deep breath. And I invite you to do the same with me because when's the last time you just took a moment to take a nice deep breath in and out? So let's go ahead, breathe in and breathe out. Damn, that felt good. Okay. Now, I'm just tuning in and seeing how this wants to begin. Okay, so I'm seeing a vision of this white rabbit hopping. Okay, some of these things are going to be like metaphorical, obviously. Anyways, so I'm seeing this white rabbit hopping, and it's this feeling of like it's trying to find something. It's looking for something. And I see it looking through all these different patches of grass and greenery and, flowers. And it's like looking for something in particular. And I'm seeing how all of this searching and finding is actually causing their mind to, race. I feel like they're in fight or flight and survival, like they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to find something specific. And I'm looking and I'm looking and I can't find it. And it's exhausting until finally I see this rabbit back up a little bit. They're backing up, and it feels like they're going backwards because they are, right? They're going back and back and back. All of a sudden, because they went backwards, they can see the full picture. Like they can see everything from a higher perspective because they're not so in it and they're not so like they're not chasing and they're not right up close to all of it. They're not like right in it. It's almost like the path started out, okay, yeah, this feels good. This is working. But then they lost track or they got yeah, they got lost along the way. And so they had to go backwards in order to actually see things from a completely different perspective. It's like it gives them a better view. And I don't know about you guys, but this year for me started out feeling like I was going backwards, where I was like, wait a second, haven't I been here before? Haven't I done this before? I feel like I'm past this and I've grown and like I should be further ahead. Like why am I feeling like I'm so backwards or like I've gone backwards, right? But then what I'm seeing here is this is the pull back before the launch forward, right? It's like you're pulling back the bow and arrow and it's like tight and uncomfortable and you're having to like pull, 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 pull. But then all of a sudden you're launched forward. The other thing I'm feeling called to share about my personal journey with this and how I can relate to it, because usually, if how it goes is if I went through it or I'm going through it, usually my listeners can also relate on some level. And so, for me, going backwards meant I had time and space to have a better look at things. For me, like it had to do with my business. Like I needed to have like a deeper look at the foundation of my business, the numbers. I had to do kind of like a deep clean and inventory type of thing. Um, but also this came up like in my household as well, like just wanting to get organized and get into a good routine and all of that. And so even though at times it felt like I was going backwards and I was revisiting old versions of myself and like these old parts of me, it was for a purpose. And I feel like it was all to prepare me for what's coming. And I don't know what's coming, but I do feel like so many seeds were planted during this period. And I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about us here. So many seeds that have been planted are going to bloom in spring because winter is not a time to like winter's for hibernating. Winter's for resting and leaning back and receiving and nourishing. It's deeper, right? But then spring, that is actually meant for like things starting to come to fruition, movement starting to happen again, momentum starting to build again, and things starting to bloom. So I feel like what I'm hearing right now is that you are on the right path and that you're exactly where you're meant to be right now, even though it may feel like you've gone backwards. What I'm hearing is the only way forward is to first go backwards, which sounds silly, maybe confusing, but what I'm hearing is to really just trust the process of how things are unfolding. Because it's true, like, how could we advance forward or, like, build up, however you want to look at it, if we still have all these attachments and things that are unclear or need to be looked at or worked out so that when we do go forward, we can actually thrive and build on something more solid. So there's that. Now I want to kind of tune in and see where this is going. Okay. The vision I'm having now is like someone being on this bridge, but it's not like a really well-made bridge. It's very it looks very old and unsafe and not supportive. It's like I'm getting anxiety just looking at it. But I'm hearing like it's weird. It's reminding me of a card actually from an oracle deck that I have where that's like the scene. Basically, there's that bridge that I mentioned, and then it says tread thoughtfully. So, like, it feels like moving forward, it's about being really mindful of where you're stepping and where you're going because you want to do it with intention and in a way that's aligned with your values, in a way that's aligned with your vision, and to not carry with you the weight of the past and of the stories that you tell yourself about yourself that are negative or that are untrue, because that weight will like you're on this bridge with these like really unsupportive pieces that you're stepping on and like you got to be careful as you're moving forward, right? So it's like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm not making decisions based off of past versions of myself, that I'm not taking them with me. Man, I freaking relate to this so much. It's crazy. It's like literally so much of what I've been going through. But anyways, um, yeah, so it's like moving forward because I feel like what I shared before this bridge scene, right, with the rabbit scene, that was like January till now and even still like what a lot of us are navigating. But then I feel like this is kind of like, okay, how do we move from there, right? How do we move forward from here? And that's what this is showing us. It's okay, moving forward from this space, it's important to tread thoughtfully and to move forward slowly and with mindfulness of where are we making these decisions from, making sure that they are actually aligned with this new version of yourself, right? Remember, you let go of so much. You shed so much. So, what's coming through right now is maybe you don't really have a sense yet of what you want or who this new version of you is, what your vision is, what your values are. Because maybe for some of us, it still feels a little bit distorted or like unknown, right? Because there's still like remnants of that with us. The other invitation here is to take time and space to reflect on those things, to kind of get to know yourself again and question, okay, what do I want? Right? You're like, okay, I know I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to do what I did before. I don't want to be who I was before. I don't want to feel that way anymore. And so it's like, okay, so what is this new version of me? Like who are they and what do they actually want? Where do I even want to go from here? So that's the whole point of that bridge that we're on right now. And then it feels like once you then get to the other side of that, and once you've taken some action forward from those places, right? When you take aligned action and make decisions and choices from that place instead, what I'm hearing is like how that then solidifies your path moving forward and it becomes more clear because it's more solid. You can kind of see it a little bit better. You kind of have more of a sense of ease and comfort of like, okay, this is my path. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. So it makes sense. Like if you're in a space right now where you're just like, what am I even doing? Where am I even going? Like what I did before isn't working, or things just feel so unclear, or like I'm doing all these things, but like nothing's happening, you know? It makes sense. Like, okay, first, I need to like go inward and and I've actually been telling myself this, I swear, for weeks to like, okay, I really need to make time in the morning to just be in my own energy and to just kind of, pause and listen and, connect to my soul's voice, listen to what needs to be said. But I've just been so distracted with all the busyness of life, right? And all like doing all these things that I feel like I should be doing or whatever. Anyways, I don't need to get into that, but I do resonate with the whole like, okay, wait, not who am I, but what is it that I want? What do I even want? What do I want to do? Like, what do I want to offer? What do I want to teach? What I want to, what do I want to create? Right. So those are things that I need to make time and space for to reflect on. And yeah, sounds like you are being guided to do the same. Um, So that clarity is coming and more direction is coming. I also feel like you're just going to feel more certain about your path as well. But it's like so normal to be in this uncomfortable space right now. As I am, you know, sharing all this, I'm also in the back of my mind like, okay, spirit, like I thought we're tuning into, you know, the year as a whole. It's interesting how we're just kind of getting like validation for what's already happened, but then also, guidance on, okay, what we're navigating now, where we're going, what, all of that. But then I'm like, okay, what about the rest of the year? So I want to see if there's anything for that or if that's just maybe not meant for right now. I just heard time will feel different this year. I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed over the past few years, time has like literally sped up like crazy. And I'm hearing that there's going to be more deja vu moments. I've definitely been experiencing those like a lot more than usual. Yeah, more deja vu moments. Okay, so what do those moments mean? And then I see like a check mark. I heard like checkpoint. It's these like divine reminders that you are exactly where you're meant to be and like you're on point. I'm also hearing how this year, because of how much you let go of, how much you released, and how much space you created, like everyone's, I just heard everyone's going to be psychic. Like everyone's gifts are coming online. Everyone's going to become aware that they are too, like they too are psychic, whether they like it or not. That's what's going down because this is the future. The future is energy. The future is discernment. The future is intuition. And everyone using their intuition, everyone having more discernment, everyone being able to feel when something isn't right or something is off. You'll be able to feel people's hearts and to feel through their masks and their layers. Everyone will have an inner lie detector. People will no longer be able to handle fake or synthetic. Like I just, it's like I feel this feeling in my skin of like rejecting it. The other thing coming through right now is okay, I need to share a story, but it's connected to this and it's going to make sense. So, I have hired a new therapist and she has been working with me to help me, release what I hold on to in my body. I have been experiencing like things in my body. healing and getting better after these sessions because I'm clearing it out. I'm not just talking about it, but actually energetically releasing it, right? Like I'm going inward and connecting to these places where I'm holding this energy, like where there's pain or whatever. And I'm acknowledging what is there. I'm acknowledging what is being or what's been held in that space. And I'm releasing it. And it's being healed, it's being cleared. And then, this month, February, I realized just how much, like, when I carry emotions, just how much it affects me physically. When I, like, and just how much old wounds, old traumas affect me physically in my body. And it's not just a me thing. Like, this is what so many people experience. I would say all of us, because we're all sensitive beings, we're all energetic beings, and everyone carries different things in different places. So people are going to become more and more aware of how they can heal themselves by doing the inner work and by becoming aware of what they're carrying, how their inner voice affects them, the way they talk about themselves, the way they think about themselves, the stories and narratives that they carry from childhood. Like it all affects us on some level. With that being said, I haven't gotten down to the root of what my cancer was connected to. And I know that someday I will. And there's a reason that I haven't yet. And there's so much more I want to share on this topic. With the womb healing that I've done, with the hypnosis session that I had, where I went into several past lives and cleared anger from all those lifetimes. Like, there's so much that I want to share, but that will have to be another episode. But it's insane how all that clearing that I did, all that healing that I did, which, by the way, that session plus a therapy session that I did was all around the same time. The very next day, an ovarian cyst ruptured. That happens to me every single time I heal something on a deep level. Every time. It never fails, which to me is evidence of just how powerful that healing is. So, what I'm trying to say is like, this is all coming through to show us of what, like, where we're being guided this year and years to come, how things are going to change. Because I don't know about you guys and your experience with the medical system, especially here in Ontario, Canada, but it's insane. It's, it needs help. It's failing people. People are dying because they're not getting proper care. It's scary and it's sad and it's heartbreaking, and something has to change. And I know things always get worse before they get better. And I feel like by people waking up to their intuition, right? Everyone realizing, wow, I'm psychic. Yeah, because we were born with that. Like you you don't have like I'm not like just because I'm a psychic doesn't mean I'm the only one who like obviously I'm not the only psychic out there, but do you know what I'm trying to say? Like I do this for work. Yes, like this is part of what I do, but everyone was born with these abilities. It's just a matter of like turning it on or tuning into it or, like taking it up a notch, attuning to it, developing it. It's just a matter of that, basically. So, yeah, I'm actually just so, I feel like at a loss for words almost with what has come through because it's just wild to me, but exciting. And it makes me wonder, like, wow, how is this gonna go, Um, but I know that this is what needs to happen. Like that's what it feels like. And that's what's going to be the most supportive. So, speaking of what's most supportive, with this information that was given, I want to see like, okay, what can you do that will be supportive for you, as you become more intuitive and you start to lean in more into that. I'm hearing pay attention to what feels noisy versus what brings you peace. Like, start paying attention to how your body rejects certain things that you used to be able to handle, but no longer can. Like, that's for a reason. Your body will be the one to speak up and let you know what it needs, what it rejects. And it's up to you to start listening to it. And this is me also, giving you that permission to start listening to it. This also means starting to, like, which this kind of circles back to what I already shared, right? Like, reflecting on, okay, who am I? What do I want? What do I need? Like, what do I actually want to do, right? But building your relationship with yourself. That's another way you could stop abandoning yourself, right? Is actually getting to know yourself and spending time getting to know yourself. No longer ignoring what your intuition is clearly trying to tell you, whether it's about your job, your relationship, your health, what you're consuming. When you face those things and make changes that your soul is begging you to make, then you're letting go of some of that self abandonment, right? You're instead choosing to support you. You're choosing to know you, to love you, to give yourself the grace and compassion that you're needing. And the thing that's coming through right now is like, we so badly crave to be seen and heard, but like, are you seeing and hearing yourself? Or do you keep brushing them off because you're like, oh, they can wait. They can wait. This is more important. They can wait. This is more important. I got to do this. I got to do that. but your body will keep, well, your body and your intuition and the universe, right? Everything, it's all connected. It's gonna keep trying to tell you over and over again until it gets louder and louder and louder. Because it does start off more subtle. It really does. But then again, if it can't get our intention, the words, if it can't get our intention, um, in the subtle ways, then it's going to get louder. What I'm realizing now in this moment is this needs to be like a part one, and how there's going to be a whole other part to this forecast. But this is kind of like what is going to be most supportive for right now. Like this is enough for right now because we got to be able to digest it and not, I don't want it to feel overwhelming, you know? So before kind of hitting pause on this and coming back to it whenever it aligns, because I'm not going to force it, right? I want to see if there's just kind of like a final message that wants to come through. Okay, I just heard about like subtle shifts, like making these subtle changes in your routine, in your day to day life that actually create this larger ripple effect and create the most change. Because these very subtle shifts and changes to your routine will compound. All these like little tiny shifts, they compound. And I'm hearing like that's what's going to deliver the most like transformation, but it's going to, because it's these like little shifts, these little changes, it's not going to be taxing on your nervous system. It's not going to be hard to maintain. It's going to actually be supportive, which is, how it should be. You don't always have to take these big leaps, right? Going for a nice small walk is sometimes better than starting this like wild 60-minute cardio class, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, you know, symbolically here, focus on again, like that bridge, those little small steps. Maybe it's just like, okay, I've noticed I spend all this time on my phone. It's not actually supportive. In the evenings, I want to make sure that I'm, putting my phone away for at least an hour so that I can, do this instead or whatever. Like it could literally be as simple as that. Or going for a 5-minute walk outside during your lunch break or whenever. Pay attention to how your soul is guiding you to make subtle changes. Like what I'm hearing is it could even be like instead of 2 teaspoons of sugar in your coffee or tea, just put one. Like you have no idea how that'll impact you in like a positive way. Start slow and small and just allow that to be enough. Know that that is just as impactful but it's more sustainable. Because what we're looking for is sustainability. We want things to feel sustainable and realistic, not these like wild, crazy expectations that are not attainable. It's like I see someone holding up something up high and, you know, and then there's this person like trying to jump to reach it, but they can't reach it because it's unrealistic, right? And we often do that to ourselves with these goals that we have. And yeah, it's just not actually realistic or supportive. So finally, the, you know, last words I'm hearing is you are enough. If you have people in your life who make you feel like you're not enough, ask yourself where that's coming from. Like, okay, an example, I've definitely felt that, and I've had a lot of stuff come up around self worth in my therapy sessions. And I've had people who I know love me and care about me, like there's been times where we have interactions and something is said or done or whatever that leads me to feeling like I'm not enough. But like the truth is, like they don't want me to feel that way and they weren't trying to make me feel that way, but I have something in me from my past that gets triggered by certain things, right? To make me believe that, oh, I'm not enough. And that's my responsibility to work with that and do that inner work or whatever, right? Or sometimes that could also include communicating, right? But then there's maybe people in your life who do actually want you to feel that way, and that's their intention, and they make that clear. Obviously, you are enough. Please remember that when the outside world or the outside noise makes you feel like you aren't, or maybe your inner world, right? A voice in you makes you feel like you're not enough and that you're not doing enough and you need to try harder or keep going, or whatever it is. Just come back. You are enough. You are whole and complete exactly as you are. You are enough. You are worthy. Show yourself the grace and compassion that you show others. Hold space for yourself. Be patient and kind and gentle with yourself, but also lovingly hold yourself accountable. Listen to that inner voice, that inner nudge, your intuition. Listen to it when it screams at you. If your body is feeling achy or like, you have a weird pain in your hip or a weird pain in your shoulder, ask it what it's trying to tell you. And I know that sounds weird, but I'm not kidding. I had a weird hip pain, my left hip. It was connected to a mother wound. I'm not even joking. But by going there, like you close your eyes, you take deep breaths, and you go there. You bring your attention focus to that area and you ask it, like, what it's trying to tell you, or like you give it space to speak. It'll speak to you and you'll intuitively know how to navigate it and move it and clear it. And it'll blow your mind. And you'll think you're making it up, but you're not. Let your body speak to you. And I'm going to leave you with that. If you resonate with this, if you enjoyed this, if it was supportive for you, please let me know. I love to hear from you guys. And if you have your own experience to share, let me know. Go to my website. There is a page specifically dedicated to this podcast where you can submit your stories, your questions, whatever it is. Go take up space there and share with me. Okay. I want to thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I am so grateful. And just like a loving reminder that I'm on this journey with you, right? We don't have all the answers, me included. And I'm also along for the ride. So I look forward to more episodes where I get to share with you, you know, what's coming up and how we can navigate it and in a more supportive way, in a more aligned way. I really feel like this is gonna be a big year. Like lots of changes, but good changes. So I am sending you so much love and I'm so grateful for you for spending your precious time and energy listening to this and consuming this. And I will see you on the other side.